Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Shem Shah. That belongs to the Apostle Jim Masters. I'm now Allah coming out in this video. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the book of James 1:19. And I want to focus on the topic of being, swift to hear and slow to speak. Because, sometimes we could all be quicker to speak than we are to hear. That's not necessarily the way it should be. Because, we got to come to understanding before we make a response to the situation. So let's get right to it. James chapter 1 verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, that every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Now let's break each of those things down. Swift to hear. You want to be quick to hear. Why? Why do you want to be swift to hear? You want to be swift to hear because you want to be swift or quick to get understanding. And you can only truly get understanding if you listen, if you're paying attention, if you're taking heed, if you're being swift to hear, if you're quick to hear. So you want to gather that understanding. And you want to be slow to speak. Why? Why do you want to be slow to speak? Let's look up swift real fast.
Strong's G 5036.
Tahus. Quick, fleet, speedy. Doesn't really give us much. Look, we're slow.
Strong's G 1021. Radus.
Slow, metaphorically, dull, inactive in minds. Stupid, slow to apprehend or believe. In other words, it is telling you to be slow to speak. This is a metaphorical understanding. So if a person is slow to speak, then that person is not seeking to make a rash choice to speak with their mouths. They're slow to speak, but they're slow to speak. Therefore, they're swift to hear. So they're quicker to listen than they are to speak. Okay? They're quicker to listen than they are to speak. And it's good to be slow to speak. Because the person that's slow to speak, what that does is that can prevent, altercations. That can prevent misunderstandings and strife. Why? Because you're slow to speak and you're being swift to hear. So you're understanding the matter before you're making a response to it. And it says slow to wrath. Simple. Slow to wrath meaning what? Being slow to anger. Okay? Don't mind my screen doing that, man. It just turned. Being slow to wrath means to be slow to anger. Because a person that's quick to wrath, that could lead to being carnal. That could lead to being carnal. And being quick to wrath doesn't really result in a productive outcome. So you want to be slow to wrath. Alright? And being slow to wrath, the way that comes about is being, quick to being swift to hear. Real fast. Give me 1 second. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be ready to hear. Then they give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. So the scripture telling you is be more ready to hear. Okay, you always gotta be more ready to hear. This is Sirach 7:14. Use not many words in a multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayers. So when you're in the midst of the elders, you don't want to use many words, because when you're in the presence of elders, these are experienced men, wise men, men over you, men that taught you, men that you learned under. So you want to use many words. Why? Because you want to show them proper respect. And the problem is that you got guys that come in this thing, and they think that because it's a brother in the camp that they're cool with, that fucking mean that you equals. They don't give a shit how cool you are with that person. If that brother's the elder over you, you gotta give him the respect as the elder that he is over you. Just because you cool with this elder, y'all got whatever kind of relationship y'all got, I mean you got that relationship with that elder over there. And truth be told, you know, if you're an elder in this thing, you really ain't supposed to be dealing with, young brothers like that, to keep it real with you. I'm saying, because familiarity breeds contempt. The more familiar somebody comes with you, the more likely they are to get into strife, because you develop a certain level of familiarity with them, which can bring about a lack of respect. I'm saying, you're really not supposed to be dealing with them like that. I don't be talking to the apostles and elders on the phone and just hanging out with them. And if I'm never around them, I still deal with them like they're my elders, like they're my apostles. Still deal with them accordingly. That's how you're supposed to deal with them. All right? Anyway, Ecclesiastes 3 and 7. The scripture speak about it as a time and season of everything. Right? Ecclesiastes 3 and 7. A time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak. So there's time to keep silence, and then there's time to speak. So you're in the presence of the elders, it's time for you to keep silent. I don't give a damn how many subscribers you got. I don't give a damn how many views you got. I don't give a damn how many good edits you do. And what elder you hang out with because y'all cool and I went to a bar one time. I don't give a shit about that. None of that supersedes the scriptures. It's just the truth. And I've been in the camp for a long time. So I'm not saying nothing that I haven't heard before, that I haven't seen. All right? I'm not just talking out my ass, so to speak. Straight up. And if you're supposed to be new in this thing, and you were supposed to be an elder, well, guess what? This is how you're supposed to be acting. This is how you're supposed to be acting. This is how you're supposed to conduct yourself. Hey, well, it ain't that serious. All right, cool. Keep thinking that. And then watch something happen. I'm not talking about nobody in particular. I'm using this as an example. Sirach 8 and 9. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them that shall learn understanding, and give to them and give answer as need requireth. So you're not supposed to miss the discourse of the elders. So you're supposed to take heed to what the elders are saying. So if the elders talking, you ain't supposed to be over there yapping, having a little side conversation, talking about the game or whatever. So if it says miss not the discourse of the elders, obviously you got to be swift to hear, right? Sirach 6 and 34. Stand in the most of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise. Self-explanatory. Okay? Proverbs 17, verse 27 and 28. It says, he that hath knowledge spareth his words. What does that mean? We say the word spareth mean.
Strong's H 2820. Chasach.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that. That's chasad. Chasak. Withhold. I'm thinking I'm reading the Greek. So I went to the audio. To withhold, restrain, hold back, keep in check, refrain. Self-explanatory. So if you don't have knowledge, going to refrain or withhold their words, then that's going to be yapping, talking all the time. If you got talking all the time, he's just a simple dude. He don't know that. It's obvious. Because even when a fool keeps silence, he's esteemed wise. Matter of fact, about to say that. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. So if a fool is quiet, you assume he's wise because you think he's being swift to hear. Even though the person is really just a fool, they just aren't talking. So even the fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. The person that's quiet is esteemed a man of understanding. So brothers got to learn. We all got to learn how to, know when to keep silent. You know. talking all the damn time. Instead of talking all the damn time. These scriptures wouldn't be written here if it didn't happen back then, and if we didn't need it for our learning. So with that, I'm gonna close and say, "Oh, praise to how about Shemel Shah, the blind, Pastor GMS, all the brothers and sisters,